Storm is one of the most powerful and well respected mutants in the entirety of the Marvel landscape. But how does she become an X Men and how does her power work exactly? I'm glad you asked, and I'll be happy to tell. Originally being born in New York City, Aurora Monroe is the daughter of David Monroe, a scholar, and Nadir Monroe, a princess of Kenya. Wanting a better life for their daughter when she wouldn't have to face discrimination for the color of her skin, the family moved to Cairo after David received the job offer. At this point in comics, authors sometimes utilized real world events to roll into their stories. In this situation, there's the Suez Crisis. While trying to get to safety, a plane crashed into the family's home, resulting in the death of David and Nadir, as well as burying Aurora under rubble, leaving her with lasting and severe claustrophobia. After escaping the situation with her life, she became a thief under the tutelage of a man named Ahmed El Jabbar. Early on in her thieving career, she attempted to rob a young Charles Xavier, but due to his mutant abilities, made it very easy for him to stop her. While receiving a mental attack from an unknown entity, it allowed Storm a chance to escape from the situation. After proving herself to be Ahmed's best, After proving herself to be Ahmed's best pupil, this led her to have her own team and go on a mission where she would retrieve an artifact from the Tomb of Apocalypse. While in this tomb, they encountered the apprentice of Apocalypse, a man named Ozymandias. While fighting Ozymandias and his disciples, Ozymandias very quickly realized who Storm was and stopped fighting. Instead, he chose to explain to Storm that she was destined for greatness and not just to having the life of being a thief. In turn, he gave them what they were looking for, and while they were attempting to escape, a man named Barrett, who had initially hired them for the job, attempted to use them for a sacrifice in the ritual that he was trying to cast with the artifact that he got from the tomb. This ritual being making him immortal. Storm and one of her teammates were encased in a pile of rubble, but due to her claustrophobia and her mutant abilities manifesting, she freed them. And after freeing them, she actually intended on letting Barrett do what he wanted, that being make himself immortal. However, this did not go as he planned, seeing as he became a stone statue. Sometimes you get what you ask for. It's also worth noting that during this time, Storm began to resent her parents for leaving her, but after sending her on a mission, Ahmed told her to steal an object, which eventually was revealed to be a picture of her family, and told her to not resent what happened and use it to grow forward as a person. Following that, Storm left Kenya. Following that, Storm left Cairo and began working with another group of thieves who were under the tutelage of the man who taught Ahmed himself. The only problem with this is that the thieves did not like Storm because they felt like she was being treated too highly, and they didn't see her as a true African since she was born in New York. They didn't like her so much so that after escaping from the situation, they tripped her while everyone made their escape, leaving Storm in the crosshairs of a man ready to kill her. But thanks to her powers manifesting, she called down a lightning bolt and made her escape. Unfortunately for her, the same man had been hunting down someone named Windrider for 30 years, and he thought Storm to be that such person, so he came prepared. Not taking much time to find her, young T'Challa stepped in and saved her from this man. After spending some time together, T'Challa and Aurora began to fall in love with each other, but also grew apart from each other, seeing as their paths would lead them to down different roads. T'Challa eventually becoming King of Wakanda, and Storm eventually becoming an X-Man. However, before she joined the X-Men, she went to Kenya where she used her mutant abilities to try and help the area that had been devastated by drought. Unfortunately for her, her inexperience in what she was doing actually caused more harm than good. After years of honing her abilities and learning from her mistakes, the people began to call her a goddess, until Charles Xavier pulled up and explained to her that she was actually a mutant and that she had a higher purpose than just helping the people of Kenya, instead, helping everyone around the world. To which she was intrigued by the thought of joining the X-Men and actually decided to. But if I'm gonna be honest with you, Xavier came down with this whole spiel about it's your obligation to help everyone. No, it's not. I'm here to help my people. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my thing, making sure we good over here. I ain't see you come here helping me. But that is what it is. I digress. That's relatively how Storm became an X-Men. So what are Storm's powers? Well, the easiest way I can explain this is that she controls all forms of precipitation at a molecular level. She can command lightning, and she can form on any form of tempest, that being a tornado, a hurricane, a blizzard, etc. She also has a connection with the electromagnetic fields of the Earth, which allow her to use her abilities much more easily. But make no mistake, just because she has this electromagnetic field connection does not mean she can't use her abilities anywhere else. It has been shown multiple times that she can create storms in space. It's also because of her ability to control the weather that she's regarded as an Omega level mutant. She's one of two relatively known and high regarded weather controlling mutants, the other being Bobby Drake Iceman. Some notable feats throughout the character's history is that she's been an on again, off again leader of the X-Men team. She also defeated the Morlock leader, Callisto, in hand to hand combat, further becoming the leader of the Morlocks and telling them to stand down and stop attacking surface dwellers. Also, as I stated previously, she's created storms in space, which I don't even begin to understand how that happened. And yet it's been done multiple times, so it's just like you just gotta roll with that one. And finally, some notable relationships that she's been in throughout her history. Obviously, her relationship with T'Challa, which resulted in them being married, but was annulled after a situation between mutants and Wakanda. But in recent chapters, they've begun reconciling that relationship, and so they're kind of talking again. Another one worth noting is between her and the Mutant Forge, which would have resulted in them marrying each other, but that also ultimately didn't work out. But another one that we don't really see talk about often is her relationship with Wolverine, where even in the animated series, it was shown that they were together. They, had a relationship together, and they, over the years, have shown that they love each other, and not just off of a respect thing. Obviously, Wolverine respects her. He respects her opinion, and she's kind of one of the few people that can kind of reel Wolverine in, so to speak. And because of that, he obviously just respects her, and he wouldn't do anything to really just harm her or make her mad. That's how much like Storm has garnered respect, even among the mutants. And even there are times where she believes she's not fit to be leader. The other mutants on her team, you know, hey, you got this. We're here because of you. Giving her some reassurance, which that's a human thing. We need reassurance sometimes just to keep us going down the right path. Making sure we're doing the right thing. So that's good on them for making sure she's like keeping the straight path. But that's really all I got for you guys today. That was a little bit about how she became a X-Men, how her powers work, just a little information to help you further understand the character of Storm and, what she's about. But that's all for today. I'll catch y'all later.